Buenos dias. It's very hot today. Looks strange. Yeah, it's very hot today and my water's already empty and I still have halfway to go, which is 12 kilometers or something. So that sucks. I should have taken more water with me, because in the past there have been always places to fill up your water bottle every here and there, but now there's nothing. Yeah, but I think everyone on the Camino is suffering sooner or later, or basically every day. At least I am suffering today. Yeah, I think that's part of it, and that's the fun, the fun part. Yeah, and carrying the backpack is just the worst part. The thing is, yesterday I told you I only wanted to hike a few more kilometers to the hostel. So it would have been maybe 18 that day. And I would have been okay with that. But then I was at the point where I needed to decide, do I go right to the hostel or do I go left and keep on walking? And the girl that I had been hiking with the day before, she texted me on WhatsApp saying that she is going to go on for the next hostel. The problem is the next hostel was 16 kilometers away. So unfortunately I already lost the way before, so I already walked more than the initial stage should be. So in the end it was 39 kilometers for me, which was just insane. I've never walked so much in one day, and I was pretty okay when I made the decision to keep on walking, but I didn't expect the next few kilometers, the 16 following kilometers to be so hard. It was just up and down and really steep, and I also took the more beautiful but more difficult route, because I was thinking, well, I'm only here once, so let's go for it. And I was conscious about the fact that I needed to hurry, because normally these hostels, they close at 10, and if you come later they just don't open the door anymore. So but I looked into the guide that I had, and it said they close at 10:30. So I was thinking, okay, you have 30 minutes more, so that should work. So nevertheless I was hurrying, and it was way harder than I thought, because the first half of the hike that day, it was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was good to walk. It was not so hard. So I expected the second part to be more or less the same, but it just was so much harder. And I was in the middle of it, and I was just thinking, wow, you're gonna have to sleep somewhere here because it's gonna get dark and you will find the way out. And yeah, but I pushed myself, and there have been some really frightening parts with old train tunnels, abandoned tunnels where you had to go through, and it was pretty it was pretty frightening when you go there alone, and there was no one, because it was so late, there was no one around anymore. And if I would have fallen there somewhere, no one would have found me that day, at least. So yeah, but I didn't even took the time to eat. I drink a little bit here and there, but then finally, when I was on the last mountaintop and I could see down there, I need to go to Dida. Dida was the name of the city I went to, and I was so glad, and the sun was coming down, and I felt proud of myself, but it was still quite hard to get from the mountain down to the city, because it was so steep. I don't know why they have these steep mountains here, and I'm not sure if they haven't invented these that you can make roads like this. They just make the road straight, and you have to go straight up or straight down, and it's just very hard. So the last part down there was also very hard, and I later heard from the girl that I joined the day before that she fell that way down because she was also so tired, and it was so steep, and it was definitely steep and hard. And then when I came into the city, there was some kind of fiesta party, and everyone was on the street. It was so crowded. It was really hard to find your way through the crowd to go to the hostel. Yeah, but I finally did it, and it was 9:30. So I was thinking, okay, when they close at 10:30, you'd still have 1 hour to shower and get some food, and then get back to the hostel. But when I was standing in front of the hostel door, it said, well, on Sundays, no, it was Saturdays. On Saturdays, they close at 9 already. So if you have booked or if you have registered yourself and you have paid, you get a number code for the door so that you can come in until 10:30. But if you haven't, you only can register until 9. So I was thinking, oh shit. And it said on Sundays there is no one in the hostel, so you have to go to the police station to register yourself. So I looked up on Google Maps where's the police station, because they said they are open until I don't know exactly, but they were a few minutes more there. Maybe it was 9:15 when I was there, and they were open until 9:30. And so I rushed there through the crowds again, and I couldn't find any place where the police station was, and pretty terrified what I will end up doing during the night, because I was shaking. I was just had no blood sugar at all, so I hadn't eaten for quite some time. I had no water anymore, and I was just so tired from walking nearly 40 kilometers that I was just shaking. So yeah, I just didn't know what to do, to be honest. What's that? That's some insect that I've never seen before. So I just went to the hostel because I was thinking, okay, maybe there's someone coming in late who has the number for the door code, and he can let me in. And so I went back, and on my way back, someone tapped on my back saying, well, do you want to sleep in the hostel? And she had the key, and she told me that she was the person running the hostel, and she had seen me coming down through the city and looking pretty lost, and so she stopped because she was telling me she had pizza with her family. She stopped having the dinner and came down to the street to open me the door. And then we went to the hostel together, and she complimented on my Spanish, which was so great. But the only word that I said over and over was gracias, so danke, thank you. I don't know what she complimented on, but yeah, so I was registered then by her, and she even had me take off the backpack and put it away, and she went upstairs to see if there's a room or if I have to go in another place, and so that I don't have to go up the stairs because I was so tired. And she put a chair there so that I could sit. So the people are really, really, really nice to pilgrims, at least most people, and they are just doing that voluntarily. It's just nothing they get money for, and it just costs. So that hostel, they just charged €8 per night, while you sleep in a room with, I don't know, 20 other people. But €8 is just not much, and yeah, I was just happy that I found a place, that I had a bed, and yeah, I rushed out. I showered myself, rushed out to get a little bit of food, and not much. I was way hungrier than what I got, but I was happy that I was in bed at 10:30, and then someone was snoring all night long, just the guy beside me, and I couldn't sleep. Maybe I slept an hour or two, I don't know, not much. And this morning, when we got up, another woman came to me and told me she wanted to kill me during the night because I was snoring so much. And I told her, I couldn't sleep myself either because someone else was snoring. And so I don't know. I don't want to say I never snored in my life, but I'm pretty sure that I wasn't the one who was snoring during this night. So that surprised me. Yeah. And this morning I talked very briefly to the girl that let's just call her Julia, because that's her name and she's from Germany, and it's strange to just talk about a girl if you can't say her name. So yeah, she was staying in the same hostel, and she was very surprised yesterday in the late evening that I showed up suddenly. And so we decided to go separately today again. We had a little breakfast this morning together, but I wanted to talk to her and to say what happened during the Camino, and it's just nice to exchange some thoughts with like-minded people about what happened. And unfortunately there was another girl from Germany and another girl from the UK. They just sat at our tables uninvited, and they just talked without end, and so we ended up not talking much at all, and she just parted her way and I went mine, and yeah, that's just how things go. And unfortunately these two girls, they walk more or less the same. Well, I walk more slow than they, slowlier, I don't know. They walk faster than me, but they stop way more often. So every time I think, okay, girls, I'm Buen Camino, I'm gonna go slower. You can go your speed, and wish you all the best. And 10 minutes later, they stand there again, and I pass them again. They wish me Buen Camino, and then 10 minutes later, they pass me again because I'm not working so fast. And then they say Buen Camino, and this is just hilarious. And they are just so chatty, and it makes me feel strange. I know, let's say it this way, they trigger me somehow, and I don't want to walk with them, but I'm still kind of too afraid to say, I don't want to walk with you, I want to walk on my own. Instead I say, well, I can't walk that fast in my sandals, because I have to be a little bit more careful downhill when there are the rocks and everything, which is true, but I just don't want to say, well, I just want to spend time on my own, and yeah, don't be bothered by you. But because they are just talking random shit, which is just so, they're just talking to talk, which I'm not a fan of. And but you meet so many people here on this hike. So in this hostel where I stayed tonight, there were 56 beds, and I would say 50 of them were there were people, 50 people. But I only meet these two girls over and over on the hike. So now I went. This is not the official Camino here. I went the other way. So the Camino went to the right, and I went to the left to record the video and to let the girls pass again. This time for good, so that I don't have to meet them again. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but we will see. But there are so many different people in the hostel, and for example, this woman who accused me of snoring, I could have gotten angry about her, but I didn't care so much. But it really gives you the opportunity to work on your triggers, and to realize what triggers you, and yeah, you have enough time walking thinking about why it triggers you and why you get annoyed, or why you don't say what you want to say. And I think that's also part of doing this hike, that you it's my purpose is not to make friends here, but if I can make friends with myself, that would be great. and part of it is just saying what I think, and what's my truth, and expressing myself, and that also means hurting other people. And yeah, it's day 4 today, and I'm sure in a week from now I will be way better with that. And also, you sleep with so many foreign people that you never met before in the same room over and over and over again, and different people every time, that at one point you just don't care if your clothes are folded correctly, or um, if the t-shirt smells badly. It's I don't care anymore. No one else cares, and yeah, that's interesting. And sleeping with so many people in one room is definitely far out of my comfort zone. But I would say it gets easier every time. It's not nice, but it gets easier. Hmm. I'm really wondering how I will make it without water. Yeah, but if I record a video tomorrow, you will know I have made it. I would like just to take a nap here, because this is just no one is gonna pass here, I think. So, and I didn't sleep much, and I'm still tired, and my legs hurt a lot today because of I have been walking way too much yesterday. My feet hurt a lot. My back hurts, but apart from that, I'm good. Actually, my parents told me, or wrote me, I sent them some photos yesterday. Wow, that's so nice. And if we would be able to speak Spanish, I would just start today and go on the Camino. And I just texted, well, you speak English, they speak English here too, and so there's not really an excuse not to do it. And in German, there's a saying, when there's a will, there's a way. So if you want something, you will find a way to do it. And so many people just come up with random excuses why something is not working, and yeah, instead of just going for what they want and not searching for excuses. Also, I noticed when I told people that I will go on this hike, it's a pretty well-known thing in Germany. And if you say someone, oh, I'm going on the, ich gehe auf den Jakobsweg, I'm going on the Camino de Santiago, people know it's like a transformative, spiritual journey you go on. And many people try to talk me out of it, because many people don't want to face their fears and their just emotions and past traumas, because everything comes up. If you're yesterday, I was really suffering up the mountains, and I get angry then, because this is just the anger that was pent up somewhere, and it just comes out when you need the energy to really do something else. You don't have the time and patience and energy to keep the anger down. So sometimes it just came out, and it helped me to go up the mountain easier. And I was just, sometimes I was, I want to go up like this. And yeah, it's just frightening for many people. And if they see that someone they know, and that is not much different than they, can do this hike and takes the time to do it, and gets permission from his employer, and can do all that, they see that it would be possible for them too. But even though there might be something inside of them saying, well, it would be great to do that, and you can do it, and but they say to themselves, well, that's just stupid, and so they try to talk me out of it. I'm not sure if that makes sense, the whole thing that I just said, because um, it was even hard to follow my own train of thought. But when they see that someone is doing that and it's possible for him, and they are not so much different than this person, they can't come up with so many excuses anymore why they can't go on that journey, and why they can't face their fears and work on themselves and do this hike. So they try to keep everyone where he is, and so that they don't have to find out more about themselves. And without me wanting to go into too much details about my parents, I know that they have struggles themselves, and there is a lot of stuff that they could work on. I don't think that they will do it, even though I wished they would do it. We will see. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I wish you all the best. And I have heard Buen Camino so often today already, I don't want to say it today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.